Hello friends, welcome to Fastcuts. Today, we have come up with an incredibly special zombie movie. On an island off the coast of North America, local residents simultaneously fight a zombie epidemic while hoping for a cure to return their undead relatives back to their human state. Every second of this movie will generate immense fear and thrill in you. The zombie movie, titled Survival of the Dead, released in 2009, is surely worth a watch. Here we go. This movie, Survival of the Dead, has been written and directed by George A. Romero, starring Alan Van Sprang, Kenneth Walsh, and Kathleen Munro, and released in 2009. Unlike other zombie movies, this movie has a lot of oddities, and we can go straight to the movie to experience all these. The movie starts with a prologue announced that 53 million people are dying every year in this world, which means 1.5 lakhs people every day and 107 people every minute. This is to create an angle of some dangerous calamities happening in this world. The hero of the movie, a National Guard Sergeant Crockett, was sitting at a place smoking, and a few people were carrying the corpse of someone on stretchers. The prologue was proceeding and declares that those dead people will resurrect and they will kill more people, and these newly killed people will also rejuvenate to kill more and more people. This process will continue, and in the middle of all these, the typical homicides and turmoil will occur. Crockett was saying the soldiers are in between all these, and a large number of soldiers have been killed in various incidents, but they will continue assassinating the zombies. While sitting and smoking there, Crockett was also looking at something, and it was an undead soldier. Suddenly, that soldier got up like a zombie, and Crockett was shouting, "It is time!" Another soldier brought one officer to gunpoint there, and his name was Lou. Crockett was shouting at the officer, saying that he is behind, sending them to that hell, and because of him, only his friend came to this crisis. Saying this, Crockett gave one gun to Lou to kill the zombie, but he was not seizing it. When Crockett felt that Lou wouldn't be taking the gun, he shot the zombie himself. Then Crockett pointed the gun towards Lou, and he was pleading with Crockett not to kill him and moved backwards. A zombie waddled that way, and that zombie had bitten away the right cheek of Lou. On noticing this, Crockett shot down Lou too. The soldier who brought in the officer killed the zombie, which had bitten Lou. On hearing the sounds of gunshots, a few soldiers came running and rounded Crockett and his friend. At that time, Crockett was telling his friend that it is enough and he's fed up with all these and vacating his job. In the next scene, we can see Crockett and some of his soldier friends come to be highwaymen and loot whoever comes their way. In between, they ransack some youngsters who came for documentary making in the forest. Unfortunately, all their acts were captured on camera by a set of youngsters and uploaded on the web, and thereby people came to know about the robbery of Crockett and team. These were a flashback. Crockett and team were the first soldiers who arrived at a place where zombie has been widely spread. Some of the team members were reanimated as zombies at that place. We have seen earlier that the angry Crockett killed the officer who led them to that place. After some years, Crockett lost his interest in looting and wanted to live peacefully in a place where there are no zombies. After the flashback, we can see an isolated island named Plum Island on the coast of Delaware. Not many zombies were there on that island, as it is an isolated locale. One man shot down a zombie wandering there. He has Captain Patrick round up a posse to kill all the undead on that island. He had a team also to assist him, but his daughter Jane was against the killing of zombies and argued with him. She asked whether she should kill him if he evolves into a zombie. Patrick walked away with his team, telling her daughter that he will die himself if something like that arises. Patrick and his team were going to the house of one person named Muldoon, as they suspected that they are hiding their undead children there too. Patrick and team opened the door of his house and asked him, "Where is his children?" On seeing Patrick and the team, Muldoon's wife was frightened and went upstairs quickly. When Patrick asked about the children, Muldoon replied that they met with a small accident and slept early. Patrick was not convinced and was about to go upstairs. Suddenly, Muldoon's wife came there with a gun in her hand and pointed it at Patrick. She mumbled him not to come inside the house. Suddenly, Patrick's accomplice shot her down. Muldoon came to her, and then Patrick told him that he could save her life if the truth was revealed earlier. Then Muldoon asked Patrick for a gun and shot his wife again to prevent her from reanimation. Patrick and the team went upstairs and saw the children reanimated as zombies. Though he pointed the gun to shoot them, he was unable to do that. He sought the help of others there to shoot the children. Patrick's daughter Jane was there, and she told him that nobody will come forth to kill the children. Suddenly, Seamus, Muldoon, and the team reached there. Seamus was thinking differently from Patrick, and he thought they could tie up their loved ones who became zombies as he anticipated some medicines to cure them. Patrick and the team surrendered their weapons as Seamus and the team were in massive numbers, and he realized that he can't win over Seamus. Jane asked Seamus what he's going to do with them. Seamus said he's going to kill all of them. When Jane realized that her father also will be killed by Seamus, she suggested to Seamus that Patrick can be exiled from the island instead of killing him. Seamus agreed, and they sent Patrick on a ferry along with a few of his accomplices. A few weeks later, Crockett and the team were sitting at a place. They heard a sound nearby and went there. Some people were sitting there and they had planted the heads of zombies on wooden stems, but those zombies were not dead, and hence Crockett shot down those heads and killed them. After that, he shot down those people gathered there. Suddenly, one boy came pleading not to kill him and said that he came there to take the rest. Crockett realized the boy is genuine and accommodated him in the group. While they were returning, they saw a truck, and the boy said that he has the key to that truck. Then they opened the truck and penetrated inside. There was a vault inside the truck, and the boy opened it and showed a huge amount of money in it. Then he locked it and acted as if he swallowed the key, while keeping the key in his pocket. Crockett had seen all this, but pretended as if he had not seen what the boy had done. Then he asked his team member Cisco to drive the truck. His other team members were Kenny, and the girl was Tomboy. The boy asked Crockett where they are going. Crockett replied that there's no specific destination. Then the boy told him that they can go to an island. Crockett was unaware of the existence of any island there and mocked the boy. But the boy had informed him that Patrick is taking people to Plum Island, and he had seen online advertisements. The main aim of Patrick was to loot the people who approach Patrick to go to the Plum Island. They inspect a video made by Patrick, and Crockett felt something wrong, and he was against getting onto Plum Island. Kenny told Crockett that it's better to go to the island than to roam here. Crockett got angry and smashed and broke what was in front of him. Later on, he agreed to go there and reached the place Patrick had directed in the video. When they reached the place, one accomplice of Patrick was fishing, sitting on the roof. He got a zombie in his landing hook, and at the same time another zombie pushed him down from the roof. Crockett and the team did not come out of the truck fearing the attack of the zombie. Patrick was also sitting inside the shed for fear of the zombie. Crockett told him that they require a boat to go to the Plum Island. Then Patrick told him that if he gives his landing hand, he will give him the boat. Then Patrick's accomplice started firing at Crockett and team, and though they had taken their truck backwards, Patrick had activated the explosives there. Crockett and team were trapped. Suddenly, Crockett saw a small ship, and he said that if they can catch the ship, they can escape with the truck. The boy realized that Crockett is not ready to part with the money they have in the truck and asked him so. Crockett replied that the truck is essential to protect themselves from the bullets and not otherwise. Crockett told Cisco to take the truck forward as much as he can, and he will swim and take the ship. Then Cisco said he knows how to operate the ship and hence he will go. Saying that, he jumped into the sea and started to swim. Tomboy also lunged to help Cisco. When they started swimming, the zombies in the sea attacked them. Somehow they managed to reach the ship and got in, but there were zombies inside it. Cisco and Tomboy killed the zombies and took the ship forward. Since there was nobody to drive the truck, Crockett tried to enter the driver's seat but was attacked by zombies. Patrick was also striking him at the same time. Finding no other way to escape, Crockett threw one grenade aiming at Patrick. The shed where Patrick was hiding exploded in the grenade attack, and then the zombies noticed Patrick and team. Zombies started attacking them. Patrick saw one of his men getting bitten by a zombie. He started running out and then threw a dynamite to finish the zombies there. In the meantime, Crockett and the team entered the ship with the truck. Patrick also tried to enter that ship, and when he was about to fall from the ship, Tomboy saved him. Crockett shouted at Patrick, cautioning him that till then he was trying to kill Crockett, so he pointed his gun. Patrick also took out a gun he was suppressing and told him that either they can die or go forward helping each other. Then Patrick killed one zombie approaching them. Tomboy also asked Cisco whether he's all right and whether he's bitten by zombies while swimming. He said that he is all right, but he had bitten the zombies while swimming. Then Crockett called Tomboy, and they went in search of zombies in the ship. They saw some zombies inside and killed them. Then a car got started and was about to hit the boy. Tomboy shot down the zombie and saved the boy. Crockett came near Patrick and inquired whether the place he is taking them is fascinating. Patrick said it's a beautiful place, but he has no entry. Though Crockett asked the explanation, Patrick did not say anything clearly. They reached Plum Island, and Patrick suggested going to the island in a small boat, as the depth is not enough for the ship. He also told them that it is better that they should be noticed by the people on the island. Crockett was taking his belongings to go to the island. Suddenly, one zombie came near him, and Crockett flashed him with a flare gun there. They got into flames, and it was a Ghost Rider. Crockett kicked out the Ghost Rider zombie into the sea. Then they started moving to the island in a small boat. On the way, Patrick informed them to be careful with Seamus. They stopped the boat at a place and walked to the island. Patrick was informing them that his daughter will be somewhere there and they're not on good terms. Suddenly, somebody began firing at them, and in recovery, they also shot. While saving Kenny from the bullets, Crockett got a gunshot. Though it was not severe for Crockett, the same bullet seriously injured Kenny, and he died. Patrick shot Kenny so that he would not become a zombie. Crockett got angry and started whacking Patrick. Jane came there riding a horse, but she was reanimated as a zombie. Patrick got up and stepped forward, saw the dead bodies of people he had robbed earlier and sent to the island. So he killed all the people Patrick sent to the island, and he got furious. Patrick was against the idea of killing, but Seamus had killed these poor people. He also said that her daughter Jane was reanimated as a zombie only because of Seamus. He wanted to kill Seamus and went in search of him. Crockett was confessing Patrick that he will murder Seamus before him, as he is the reason for the death of his friend Kenny. Then Patrick asked Crockett to wait in his shack until he gathers some of his allies to attack Seamus. In the meantime, Seamus was enjoying his day with music and some Scotch whiskey. One of his allies told him that Chuck wants to meet him. Then they reached the place of Chuck, and Seamus had killed a few zombies there. Chuck had taken Seamus in front of a cage in which one zombie and pig were locked. These zombies had no food for 3 to 4 days, and they were experimenting and persuading the zombies to eat something other than human flesh. Chuck was thinking that if zombies were taught to eat something other than human flesh, they can go out freely. Seamus killed that zombie, though Chuck doesn't like it. Seamus told Chuck that they have to conserve only their people. He asked Chuck to take the pig home to make it ready for their dinner at night. He also told him that if he wants to continue with his experiments, it is better to bring Jane, who is strolling there on a horse. Chuck reluctantly left the place in search of Jane. Crockett and the team reached the safe house, and when they looked back, Cisco was missing. Tomboy went in search of Cisco, carrying a gun with her. Cisco walked alone to reach a vacant place. Tomboy also reached that place shortly. Cisco was telling Tomboy that it's a beautiful place to live. Telling her not to come near him, Cisco tried to commit suicide. It was because he was slowly reanimating as a zombie, as he had bitten a zombie while swimming. Tomboy resisted him, explaining that suicide won't fetch him heaven, and she shot him with the gun. At the time, Chuck came behind Tomboy and told her that he will take her to another person, and he started dragging her. Crockett became unconscious while waiting in the safe house as he lost a lot of blood from the bullet shot. The boy went out to bring water for Crockett. Patrick heard the sound of a horse coming and saw Chuck dragging Tomboy with him. Chuck brought Tomboy in front of Seamus, and after giving her food, Seamus told her that he had information on 4 people dressed like her, along with Boy and Patrick reaching the island. He also told her that he is not as cruel as Patrick, and told him that he believes in God and she should abide with him. Chuck also snatched Jane and tried to console her, but she tried to bite Chuck. Crockett was returning to consciousness and opened his eyes only to see Jane there. It was not Jane, but her twin sister Janet. The boy came with water and also saw Janet, and she asked, "Where is her father, Patrick?" The boy answered that he had gone to gather his allies. Janet was telling them that Seamus and Patrick were born enemies, and a fight between them will spoil everything there. She also told them that he was an ideal dad, but Crockett told her that he is endorsing Patrick. Patrick and a few of his allies reached there, and he told Janet not to intervene in the battle with Seamus. Patrick directed Crockett and the boy to accompany him as it is time to attack. Boy wanted to wait for Tomboy and Cisco, so he intimidated him the same. He said that he saw Chuck dragging Tomboy to Seamus, and they might have killed Cisco. Though Patrick told them to hurry up, he was stopped by Janet, who told him that he is alive because of the kindness of Seamus. Then Patrick sent back others and asked whether she was behind his release. It was actually Janet who was with Patrick when the movie began, not Jane. Then Janet told him that she had done all the work at home, including the burial of her mother when she died. Even she complained to him that he preferred Jane more than Janet, but Patrick told him that he cared for both of them. Patrick left the place after requesting her to go home. Afterwards, a standoff occurred at the bridge that separates the two families' land. Seamus and his allies were in large numbers, and Crockett smelled failure. Hence, he told the boy to escape with the truck and the cash in it. When returned, Crockett saw Tomboy tied by Seamus and team. Two zombies were standing adjacent to her to bite. Seamus and group captured Patrick and his allies and brought them to Chuck's place. They have released Tomboy also in between. Crockett asked her, "Where is Cisco?" and she informed him that Cisco is dead. Seamus and Chuck were continuing with their experiments, and they locked Jane along with her horse in the cage we've seen earlier. They were prompting Jane to eat the horse. If Jane eats the horse, it will be in the news, and Seamus will be known for the success of this experiment. Seamus was sitting happily as he could win over Patrick. Janet was walking through the forest, and the boy came near her and asked her what she will do if 10 lox dollars were given to her. The boy made Janet his companion with the money. Seamus and his allies were inspecting Jane in motive of her eating the horse. They were tired and most of them want to sleep in between. Janet used this opportunity to grab the guns. Patrick and the team laid down in front of Seamus near the bridge. She had given the gun to Patrick and Crockett. On hearing some sounds there, Seamus got up and asked, "What is going on there?" Janet answered back to him saying that she's giving some guns to her father and now both of you are equal in strength. Crockett fired in the air using the machine gun they have got and said what he is having is not one used to whack the birds. Chuck was also looking for an opportunity to betray Seamus and also joined Patrick's team. Seamus got angry and fired at Chuck. Then Janet saw Jane calling her near the cage. Janet was happy and thought that her sister remembers her now. She went to the cage. When Janet joined the cage, zombie Jane bites her. Janet got angry and tried to fire at Jane, but the horse saved her. On seeing Janet also getting the bite, Patrick lost his control and started firing heavily. In between, Chuck released some zombies to Seamus. He got mad and killed Chuck with pellets. Zombies were attacking everyone there, and at last, Seamus and Patrick came face to face. They were left with only one bullet in their gun. Suddenly, Janet appeared there and asked them to stop all this. She said she saw everyone around her dying, and now she will also decease. Patrick calmed down, and he wanted to sit with Janet for some time. As soon as Patrick turned, Seamus fired at him, and he knocked down. Unexpectedly, Patrick took out the gun he was hiding and killed Seamus also. Janet was very upset and turned back and saw Jane begin eating the horse. Crockett and the team were escaping from that place. Janet was running behind them to inform them what she had seen, but Patrick decided to finish the last zombie and shot her down. She could not complete telling that Jane was munching the horse. Patrick let Crockett and the team go. When they reached the boat, Crockett stopped suddenly. He told Boy and Tomboy that they knew a world with enough money and fun prevailing outside, but they have reached there to find a peaceful life. He asked them why can't they make that island a peaceful place. They have replied that it is not sure and they may also evolve like Seamus and Patrick. Patrick died there, and Crockett and the team escaped from that place after grabbing the money from the ship. We can hear the prologue as Crockett asks if zombies are made up to eat other than human flesh. We can also observe the remaining zombies on the island eating the horse of Jane. Now comes the most sensational and decisive scene of the movie. It was Seamus and Patrick reanimated as zombies after their death, pointing at each other without bullets. On a short note, Survival of the Dead may not be the best of zombie-based movies, but it's worth a go. And finally, if you like our content, don't forget to subscribe and like our videos. Till we meet again with the next video. Goodbye.